let's go. All right, hello and welcome. This is yes, I am recording. This is a Dominion Online Championship, and this is our 2023 edition. And this is my first round. I got seeded with a number 5, and I can say it proudly. And I am playing tufftaeh, seeded with number 132. But don't you worry about this number. He's actually a D League player. I think they advanced to C. Uh, yeah, this is going to be a very tough match. All right. Um, let's get it started. Let's see our first kingdom. And all right, what we got here? We got peasant, which yeah. My lifetime record against tufftaeh is actually not very good. I played them once in D, and I went 2-4. So yeah. All right. What's going on in here? We've got trashing in the form of develop and junk dealer. Develop is very bad of ghost town because it puts it on top instead of in your hand. Um, Junk dealer is just pretty good here. I don't have an option to save for a junk dealer. That's very unfortunate. 2-5 looks crushing here. Yeah, the 2-5 looks really crushing actually. I could just open peasant silver to try to hit junk dealer. The draw is stables. Is that the only draw? And council room. Okay. And also buying ghost stones, I suppose, could serve as draw. Yeah. And what are our payload options? Not very good. There's develop, which there probably will be enough actions for develop, but are not good for costs. I mean, you're probably gonna play with gondola. There's teacher for payload. There is yeah, there really isn't that much. There's idle, I suppose, but idle is just gonna feed the opponent's junk dealer, so I assume we're both gonna play with that card. Yeah, this doesn't look like a particularly strong kingdom. I mean, obviously disciple is going to be very important here. And yeah, I assume we're just discipling stables. And we're playing junk dealer a bunch. And then we're playing with idols, question mark? It's not ideal. Maybe it is with develop, but ew. I mean, you could play develop non-terminally, gaining a gondola, which you could use to play cancel room. Yeah, no. There are no attacks in this. Oh, there's idle as an attack, but that you can play a lot, but that doesn't really work very well with soldier. Yeah, maybe it's just soldier as payload. But that's awkward of stables too. Oh. Maybe it's just like one of these kind of play it fast stable kingdoms. I don't like that in here though. I think it's like stables idle. Like the problem that I have with idols is that I can't multiply them with disciple. Anyway, maybe I should just like get going. I yeah. Um. I feel like I know that my opponent is very well known for playing slowly, so I feel totally entitled to taking some time here. So I am just gonna take my time. If they have a 2-5, then I'm gonna be really sad about it. But I think I'm supposed to just open peasant and silver though, and try to save the estate across the shuffle. So I can just do that without doing anything fancy. So I could open gondola peasant. Could be a little better than peasant silver. Yeah, I suppose I'm just supposed to do that and see what comes out. All right. Let's just do that. Let's hit junk dealer into a bunch of stables. And try to go from there. Okay. All right, tufftaeh. I see. This is this is a great game plan to hit a 5-2. All right, I'm gonna save the. Am I supposed to save this gondola actually? I'm gonna hit 7. I get to save a copper and buy a junk dealer. I think that's probably better. Yeah. Than just playing this here. Yeah. And I am just. Yeah. I mean, if my peasant missed the shuffle, I just like. I don't know that I'm gonna buy a ghost stone to avoid my peasant missing a shuffle. I could use ghost stone here situationally, if I know that my hand is gonna have multiple peasants or soldiers. Maybe their junk dealer misses the shuffle. That would be so great for me. They didn't play a peasant either. They played the wrong amount of copper, I assume. Oh yeah. That does not look like a right amount of copper. That still does not look like a right amount of copper. Yeah. I know, counting. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna do 6 here, save a copper, and it's supposed to be junk dealer, right? It's not supposed to be stables. Could see some argument for stables. Alright, this is my junk dealer. I could buy a ghost stone here to make my hand a little smoother. And save has been like actually saving my life. I think I saved like every turn except for turn 1. No, and okay, I didn't save on turn 3 either. That save is doing some work for me. Oh, I saved the gondola by its ability though. So yeah, that's something. Yeah. Second jug dealer, I'm not a fan of that because I think we're supposed to be drawing of stables. So I am going to opt to only play with 1 here. So I could hit 6 here and save an estate and buy stables. No, I want to buy ghost town, right? Because I know that there is a soldier and a peasant in that shuffle. Yes, so I'd like to buy a ghost town here, and therefore I am probably gonna save this gondola for the next turn, just saving everything. And I'm gonna save this estate because there's no reason not to. Alright, and hopefully I draw into that peasant. It'd be really nice. I just like really want to play that peasant, and ghost town is not exactly a bad thing to have in the deck because peasants are quite nice to be able to get more of. A forum is also something to consider if I'm gonna have a bunch of copper and a bunch of stables, which I do want to have. I'm not interested in trashing all of my copper because as I was stating at the beginning, getting payload seems rather difficult here. There probably is going to be a moment to pick up a develop for a little bit more payload and a little bit more ability to gain green and things. It's just very, like, gives you a lot of flexibility. So I think I'm going to be doing that at some point. Gondolas might like come into play as well. My opponent still does not have a silver, so they're actually gonna struggle to hit price points, which is great news for me. I am supposed to play both of my actions for sure, and now I'm supposed to think about it, but there's probably not that much thinking to be done here because I probably want another peasant. I probably want a stables so that I can start drawing and not drawing my opponent. So I don't really want a cancel room. Although drawing for my opponent is not going to be too bad here because they have a junk dealer in their deck. They have two junk dealers in their deck, so they're gonna be trashing very quickly, and their deck is gonna be very consistent without like much payload. So I would be totally happy with playing with like some ghost stones and council rooms. And the ghost stones also help my stables. Yeah, okay. So I'm slowly talking myself into this council room idea. It's not now though. Yeah, I am going to save this. I am going to buy another peasant, and I am going to buy. It could be a forum, but stables actually draws cards unlike forum. So I would like to increase my hand size. Oh, this hand is not good. What am I supposed to do with this hand? Probably pitch this estate. I could buy another peasant here. This could be a moment for the develop too. Another peasant is quite fitting. My opponent still has only one, right? Oh no, they have a soldier too. Right, they exchange a soldier for a fugitive, and yeah, okay, they have. I know that's the same guy. Yeah, okay, they have two soldiers and a peasant. I have, how many terminals do I have? I have not that many, right? So I could consider saving this ghost down. I don't think I should be. That next hand, it draws 6 cards. It could trigger a shuffle. It could trigger a shuffle either way. Am I willing to do that? It's gonna be this shuffle, right? I mean, that's what? 3 copper and an estate and a peasant is that shuffle. That doesn't... And it's another copper if I draw a stables, or 2 things if I don't draw a stables and I have to play a fugitive beforehand. Okay, that sounds a little less enticing. I'd like to keep this junk. Alright, triggering this shuffle sounds very not enticing right now. Actually. Yeah, I could save the stables here. That's totally reasonable, I think. Because that other shuffle is not very good. And I do want to play with a bunch of soldiers. They've trashed all other estates already. That's a little disappointing. Draw a gondola. Oh. Oh, there was a soldier down there, and I top decked my stables. Okay, that is totally fine. Let's play these cards. And now... I mean, I don't want to be saving a gondola ever. The question is, do I want another ghost town? I'm shuffling how many terminals? Not that many. Oh, they got a cancel room. That's very interesting. I could go wrong. Let's think of my deck though. I could have up to 8 here. Right, so what is 8? 6 is not very... no, it's 7. But if I save it's 6. 6 is not very enticing. So maybe I don't save across this. I could do Council Room Ghost Town. But then I have a peasant, a soldier. It actually kind of works because I have a peasant, a soldier, but I also have a council room as terminals, but I also have a disciple as a village. If I hit it with a stables, which not exactly likely. But I don't really have targets for this disciple anyway in my deck other than the stable and I guess the council room. Which if I hit it with a council room and don't play the peasant, it's probably fine. So I think I don't hate that buy. I mean, it could be a stables, but uh, again, like my opponent's deck has two junk dealers. Like I could use the draw a lot more than they could. So I don't hate this. All right, my disciple collided with the stables. That is fantastic. Do they have the disciple in this shuffle? Yeah, they do. And they didn't play it yet. Yeah, I'm definitely on the back foot from the start of this game just because of the 5-2. And that's fine, because I think I'm turning the corner. Like, I have a little... Okay, I have a gondola, and I have an extra ghost town, and I think I have an extra peasant and a soldier. And they have a junk dealer for that. And this turn, I suppose, to get more stuff. But I am fine with that. Especially since I get to copy stables, because with my understanding here, stables might pile this kingdom. But at least I would try to pile stables. Okay, well, they hit disciple stables. I'm about a half a turn behind, a little less than half a turn behind, I think. Not great. Right. I'm also eating an apple right now. I'll be muting myself. Wait. Oh, I guess I need to mute my microphone, not only my my Discord, just because I'm also recording this, right? Yeah. All right, and my microphone's too close, so yeah, I'll. But I'm like intrigued by this turn still. I mean, there are two more trashes too. Maybe this is a good thing for me that they have trashed more, just because they don't have money to buy with. Like they bought this cancel room and they have it in hand, and if they play it, they draw themselves one card and me one card. Alright. Anyway. Okay, and then they drew me the card. Like, they just need to start shoving payload into their deck, which is difficult here, right? Yeah, they opted to get an idol. I wonder if they're gonna exchange this for a teacher. Yeah, they do. Which, I mean, I think exchanging for a teacher is more suitable for me, because I want to put like plus coin on stables probably. I mean, maybe they want to do the same thing. Alright, well, I'm gonna duplicate the stables because that was the plan all along. Not, haven't drawn the cancel room. That's slightly unfortunate. But I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference because I drew all of my payload minus 1 copper. So I am completely fine with that. Yeah, I was wondering if there is a way Gatekeeper comes into play, but I don't think so. Because the unfortunate part here is I like to buy some peasants, which maybe I just save this gondola for the next turn. And I buy like a... I mean, I could also save a copper into my next hand. That's like the same thing. Yeah, because like my ideal set of buys here with 11 was like save a copper, go stables, peasant, peasant, or something. I guess this could be like stables, ghost town, peasant, which is probably fine. I have one soldier, one peasant. Oh wait, I can't do that. This has to be forum. Forum is fine. Maybe it's idle though. With a ghost town and a peasant. Because I think I need actions. I don't necessarily need actions, right? Because I have... I mean, I'm in the same situation. I think adding more actions to my... I don't want to add another council room. I could add like a gatekeeper. Is that an option ever? Because it just makes it so much more difficult for them to add payload to their deck, I would say. I mean, I could just... Why am I trying... Oh, right. I need to add a forum. Right, yeah, okay. I was like, why am I trying to buy free cards? Because one of them is a forum, right? Yeah, no. I mean, I could just buy 2 5s here, too. Not buy a peasant, but just not buying a peasant seems wrong. It's my plus buy. And I want a soldier stack, I think. I'm gonna have a disciple. Yeah, I want to have payload in the form of soldier stack. I think having a forum in that deck's not too bad. Alright, I'm just gonna settle on this. And I am gonna exchange everything. Yeah. I have all of the travelers, which I am very happy with. Alright, there is a teacher in my deck. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I get to disable the stables again. Yeah. Oh well. I could put plus action on develop. Does that enable something? Like if I develop gondolas into stables develop. And then stables draws me a card, but it needs to draw 2, so it just doesn't. Yeah, that just doesn't work. If I'd have to put like plus card on stables and plus action on develop, but then I also need some number of gondolas for that to work. Yeah, okay. I'm just not gonna keep on trying with develop then. I could use develop to develop the junk dealer into like gondola and gold though. That could be useful. Idle gives my opponent money. Hate to see that. I wanted wind sacks, but they are out of payload and they're just like destroying their own payload basically with these junk dealers. And they're copying more stables. Yeah, they're drawing way too much compared to what they have. Yeah, I assume they're doing plus coin on stables. Right. What do I want to do though? I'm probably doing the same thing mostly. I'm just doing a little bit more cancel roomy maybe. And a little bit more goes down because it is consistency for me. My deck's not too consistent. I assume this is Idle Peasant from them. What are these two cards? One of them is a Stables. What is the other one? Not sure. Alright, they're gonna try to curse me. I'm totally fine with that though, because I think I can be drawing my deck and just playing my junk dealer to destroy the curses. Alright, I think I still disable the Stables. I don't want that many cancel rooms. Ideally, I just don't play this cancel room, actually. I think it is necessary, right? I have a forum as well. Yeah, what if I don't play this cancel room? I discarded free, right? Oh, there's a little bit more in that discard. Okay, but there's a Stables to draw that. I mean, there's no reason for me to play this cancel room. I'd be top decking a copper. Am I fine with top decking a copper? I mean, why would I want to draw my opponent's cards, right? Like, I could just save this cancel room to have 11. 11's fine. And I'll have an extra disciple over my opponent. I guess plus buy is an issue. 11 and free buy, so does the, or 12 and free buy, so does that look like? Yeah, it's 6, 7, yeah, it's 12, 12 and free buys. It's like save a copper. I mean, 11 and 2 buys is like save a cancel room and double idle. I don't want double idle because it gives payload to my opponent, right? Could be forum double peasant or something because I have the disciples to support it. I'll hate forum double peasant and save the cancel room. I'm top decking a copper, which is not ideal, but actually, do I have disciples to support it? Because I have two disciples and I only have one ghost town. So I start the turn with 2 actions and then I go to 4 actions and I'm trying to play, I don't have to play the teacher, so I'm trying to play 2 peasants and a soldier in the council room. That does work out. Okay, yeah, then I'm just gonna do it. I'm just not gonna give you a card because I don't need to give you a card. I could also next turn is Gondola, but I don't think that's worthwhile. I think I'd much rather save this council room than next turn the Gondola. Yeah, because I'll need it next turn to line up my disciples of my stables. Could have 5 actions if I line it up well enough. Yeah. I exchange the fugitive for a disciple. I get this disciple, yeah. So I want 3 disciples. Yeah, this seems about right. Alright, I lined up 1 disciple of a stables. That's pretty good. I think this is the turn where I didn't shove a bunch of draw into my deck, so I need to play the cancel room. Yeah. Okay, good. The only one with a soldier still. I'm like the only one attacking. I mean, they're gonna attack me with a idol, but they might also attack themselves with the idol, so that would be very helpful if they did. I'm curious how much will they go for stables here. Because they could go pretty heavily on them. And again, they don't have enough stuff in their deck to draw. What? You need payload, buddy, not plus action on cancel room. And it's so easy. Why are you drawing me cards? Excuse me? I don't understand this. I won't be complaining, that's for sure. Why would you do this? It's so odd. How many peasants do they have in their deck? Because the soldier split is also something that's meaningful here. I think they have 2, and I have 2. So I could keep my soldier. Hey, why would you do this? And I can just disciple a junk dealer if you like curse me with idols a lot, right? I guess you're like threatening the curse pile that way? I don't believe in that. I mean, the only thing that I'm concerned about is the amount of plus buy that my opponent has here. I can acquire quite a lot of plus buy though by discipling forums. And also I can just play around their plus buy because I know how much they have, right? Okay, well there is a concern is that their teacher comes online a little quicker than mine too, I suppose. Am I supposed to play this cancel room, by the way? I need to draw 14. Oh, insects. I guess they had a two jank dealers in hand to play around with Winsex. But yeah, you just don't have enough money in your deck. Let's say. There's no way you're buying a province here, right? Like, it seems like a... No, you're not gonna buy a province here. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the develops. You can develop idle. I guess develop. Okay, I mean, I see the future of the develop. I don't see the present of the develop. It is a way to acquire payload. Oh, that's okay. Don't love it. I guess you just don't have the ghost towns to support this. I think I do need to play this council room. Also, like, why am I concerned about playing the council room? My opponent has infinite draw and just like not enough stuff to do with it. They exchanged 1. Well, it goes down. Let's call it teacher. And I think I should put plus coin on stables because I'm just like going to get a lot of stables this turn. So yeah, that's my payload. I am just gonna assume that I'm gonna draw the stables. All right, thank you. Don't really need to play these forums, so I'm not going to. Oh, what I do need to play is a fugitive though. Right, there's no reason for me to play these forums right now. I overdrew so much, but I'm not concerned about that. It's really easy to get draw in this kingdom too. Trash this curse. Alright. And this way I have 18, which is a lot of coins. And I just don't need to take the stables, right? Like, I could just let my opponent have to deal with them. Alright, I'm playing all of the coins. How am I playing this gondola? I could have 20. Do I want to develop in my deck? Not really, right? Alright, so here's the situation. We have a lot of coins in the deck. Our opponent doesn't. So I could just do like double province, double peasant. And just say, you figure it out now. And I have 3 disciples and 5. Yeah. Sounds really good because, like, yeah, my opponent, like, doesn't really have a good way to interact with that plan, right? And then I get to triple at the turn after. I'm just, like, putting a lot of pressure on them. Because they're set up for building forever, right? And I don't get to save a forum if I do that. Could do single peasant. Single peasant is one less stop card in my deck. And soldier does discard all the way though. I want to save a forum, I think. I really do want to save a forum here. If I'm gonna go for such an aggressive line. Because, yeah, I just don't see how my opponent competes with that. Their teachers, like, yeah, their teachers how to play. Yeah, I'm going to save a forum. Grab a peasant. And what are you gonna do about this? Like, what are you gonna do if I play like this? Alright, do I want a... Definitely want this. I could go for the 4th disciple. Or I could just keep this as a soul. Let's go for the 4th disciple just because I kind of want a fugitive the next turn. As I am slightly concerned about this turn. As this turn looks pretty sketchy. But, I mean, you put a bunch of cancel rooms in the deck and you put plus actions on them, so what are you gonna do? Like, not play them? It's like... You generated the whole total of like 9 coins last turn. So I'm so not concerned. I might have to disciple a peasant here because I kind of got rid of all of my plus buy, right? Oh no, I have a council room. That's fine. Like, you have all the draw in the world, but what are you gonna do with it? Develop gives you +5 coins, sure. That's pretty good. I suppose. It's like... Also, I don't think you get the council room points in time with just one disciple. And I definitely get the stable points in time, which is very big for me. And you actually get attacked a lot too. Just not very friendly. I mean, I just think I'm ahead here, which I haven't been the whole game, so I'm pretty happy about it. Alright. This is also a 45-minute game already, roughly. Maybe 40. Yeah. It is rough here. How many provinces can I get this turn, actually? I could disciple soldiers. I have 3 soldiers, so... Or did I only... Or did I only have 2? No, I returned a soldier for a fugitive. So I only have 2 soldiers. So I could disciple one of them. It's easy. Okay, but the soldiers are 5. Then I have stables, which are a bunch. Oh no. Thanks, Idol. Alright, you hit double. Can I quad here? The thing is, like, what do you do if I triple? Like, if I triple while emptying stables. It's so hard for you to do anything about that, right? And I definitely can triple, right? I actually need to count the money, right? You have 3 stables, I have 5 stables, so that's 5 coins, 6 copper, that's 11. Junk dealer, that's 12. And I have a gondola, that's 14. 2 soldiers, that's 16 and 19. And a peasant, that's 20. And then if I disciple 2 stables, that's 24. I can do 27. Sounds really like a really big number. And I have another disciple, right? It's not quite there. Alright, I think first thing that I do is I play the forum. So I can disciple my... Because I want to double disciple as stables this turn, I think. Not interested in this teacher card either. Alright, let's do this. And I don't think I want to play the third disciple on a disciple yet. Man, I misplayed that. Right, I'm not playing a disciple on the stables. I think that goes on the... Either a peasant or a third soldier. On a peasant, it increases my payload by 2, right? Yeah. think this is obvious. So I could disable this peasant here and then play it. I just don't want to play a council room, right? Okay, 8, 2 copper, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 19, 21, 24. So this is in hand, okay. So I can do whatever I want with this disciple. I just don't think you have the money to be triple here. So I think what makes me most consistent on my next turn is discipling a soldier here. Because I get to buy a ghost town with that money. Yeah. So you can't win this turn. Yes. Oh. I need to play this council room. Wait. Yeah, I do. I do need to play this council room, so I should have disabled the peasant probably. Okay, I should probably go back and disable the peasant. Right? As I forgot about plus buy. Then I have honestly, this way I have 25. Oh, but I don't. I kind of forgot about this. I mean, I could play the council room and triple. So, like, the buys were never like that big a problem. So yeah, okay. So I need to rewind to where I played the peasant here. All right. I didn't want to disciple a peasant. Yeah, this is a good thing about playing against someone that I know from the community, which is they don't have like nonsense undo policies and stuff. All right. How concerned am I? I'm gonna make this clear that I'm always doing this, yeah, so that they can resign if they want to. So they get 1 point from idols, giving me a curse. They need 22. They get 6 from a province. It's 21. We need 2, so they need 5 duchies. If I buy an estate... Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do like ghost towns or anything like that. Like the piles are super high. Honestly, I should probably just buy this estate. Anyway. How many 22? That's such a... Oh, because tower, right. Okay, it is a break point. I'll do it. And I'll just exchange all of my things. Yeah, exchange all of these. Exchange this. And do I exchange the peasants? Yes, because you might want to do some tower things. Alright. I just need to hit a province here. Have a disciple and a forum in this hand. Okay, that's good enough probably. Yeah, and me attacking them, I mean, it probably doesn't matter because they have a plus action council room, but I mean, I just think their deck is payload capped here, and I don't think they can score this much. I would be actually kind of happy to be proven wrong, but yeah, but you have 3 stables. Yeah, okay, that doesn't get there. Like, there maybe was a line, but that definitely wasn't it. Alright, I recovered the 5-2, I'm pretty sure. So I am very happy to hear. This game took an hour. This is gross. I'm just like... I know that my opponent would always play slowly, so I'm just feeling free to take all of the time that I need. And yeah, this is how this ends up. I guess. All right, let me just do some stuff on this side. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is like when I would ladder or like when I would stream a game out to just like talk to chat or something because it just like they're thinking about it. Oh, well, they played treasures. Wow, I actually made them dud too. That is incredible. Oh, that is so incredible. Or maybe they didn't want to play their console rooms because that's their way out. It's that my deck duds horribly. My deck's not gonna dud horribly. I'm looking at this hand. I think I put plus card on forum, right? Just to make sure that my deck doesn't dud horribly, and I disable the forums. The forum and yeah. All right. I like this I like this opening game. This is like very much in sort of my style. Win. I just like spot the opponent's weakness in the way they're building the deck and you just exploit the hell out of it. Alright, call teacher, put plus card on this. Discard. Right. This is supposed to work, right? Okay. Yeah. I was just like trying to find a way to do that with the least clicks. Alright. We are 1-0. That was like way tougher than it needed to be, but we are through. All right, let's go on to the game two. Hopefully, we can get like 3 games in today at least. This is all right. I like this split already. I don't know what are we doing with it yet, but I like this split. Band of Nomads. This is the plus buy one, yes. Yeah. Okay, so frigate. Yeah, this frigate card. And the action. Oh my god, there's not that much village. The only action-based payload is frigate. What if I did like Sank Fool's Gold? Is that an open? Looks like an open to me. I mean, I could just play for Fool's Gold-ish here. Don't hate that because I could just play for some Fool's Gold and some Frigate. There's some golden deck that can be played here involving like a Frigate. It would be what? Sank Fool's Gold. It would be like Sank Fool's Gold, Frigate. This could be really quick too. That sounds like an extremely quick golden deck. Yeah. Sank Fool's Gold, Frigate. And Province. I can get there so quickly, but what is in the kingdom? There's Triumphal Arch. So that makes me not want to do that. Because, yeah, Triumphal Arch. I just don't see a deck with a lot of actions being functional under a frigate attack, though. Because these actions are just not very good with a frigate attack. I guess there is something with Plunder. No, but like it's hard to play Plunders. Triumphal Arch is so good, though. I'll get some tiebreaker points if I do my open, too. And I get to open with a Pixie here. Alright, I'll do it. Wow, they opt to not trash a copper. I think that's correct. I think we might be going for the same thing. I could take a plus card favor here. If I do that, I risk drawing my Pixie deck. I risk drawing my Goat deck. Okay, that's if I risk drawing my Goat dead, that's not very good. I think playing Pixie is probably better than horsing it. You're definitely supposed to take that boon, by the way. That is an excellent boon, I think. I guess you could play that deck with like double Sank, or like use Sank as points. We might be here forever if we do that, though. Yeah, but you get to exile an estate and trash an estate and buy 2 pixies, or even maybe trash a copper. You could trash a copper. Yeah, it's very strong here. And cycle for the deck. That's probably the best boon, actually. Maybe Wisps? But like, you will want to exile the Wisps is the problem with them. Eventually, so... Oh, does your goat mess? Oh, I guess you can't trash with the goat and buy 2 cards. I mean, you trash with the goat, though. If I get flame, it's better, I think. Because if I get flame, I can directly start on fool's gold, I'm pretty sure. I have less tiebreaker points, but like if I start on provinces earlier, that doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, I think we are playing the mirror here. I probably, if I don't hit flame, I probably would like to hit a second sank at some point. Just because it's points. Yeah, there is also an option that they buy something silly, which would be so amazing for me. Is there a way to just like trick into double province? I don't think so. I don't like this fool's gold though, this early. I mean, I'll trash for it. I just don't think it's fool's gold yet. I think I'll take all of the pixies and just try to roll for something good. I think I could take fool's gold this turn, maybe. I think I'm gonna keep this estate around as its points. Alright, so I actually get to trigger this shuffle. I'm just gonna take the pixies. I believe that the pixies can do something good for me. They can give me flame. Like, they can accelerate me quite a bit, I think. Oh, they're doing a lot of fool's gold. Right? Yeah. Keep that. Am I horsing this? Should probably. Right, I exile the estate. Grab a second sank. And a fool's gold. And now I'm gonna go in. I mean, I could play a free fool's. No, I want to play with 2 frigates, right? It's slow. I mean, my opponent does not have. No, I probably want to play a fool's gold stand if my opponent doesn't seem to be interested in frigate. And I could just keep the pixies around until they give me swamp, right? That's an interesting choice. Absolutely. Right, I am perfectly thin here, huh? I think I keep this. And I'm just gonna grab 2 of these. I want to keep 2 sanks though. Damn it. I'm just, yeah, I am just gonna do it like this. I mean, I can draw cards here if my opponent does not play a frigate, so like that's a little bit of a blessing here for me. I can also start hitting double, like again, like if my opponent doesn't really take any interest in drawing cards, I can just start hitting double. In fact, I can start hitting some stowaway stuff. I know, they do have more fool's golds than me, so they have more capacity to hitting price points. If I play four fool's golds though, I can hit double province for fool's golds and a frigate. Could have just returned this pixie with a horse. Are you gonna hit a province here? Okay, you are. I think I am supposed to hit double here. And am I supposed to get these things off the top? No, these are Sank and Pixie, right? I guess you have to consider the fool's gold, but I don't think you are supposed to do it. And I have that tiebreaker point, right? So happy about my tiebreaker point now. I can go Sank Frigate. No. This is specifically a province, yeah, okay. What's the boon draw pile at? 5? Slightly annoying. That's a province, and that's also a province. Alright, I think I got this. There's plus action in there, right? In the boon draw pile, so I could hit that. If you play the Overlord as frigate. And then I could hit it off a... Yeah, then I could hit it off a 4-card hand. I'm also ahead on points, so I'm like not very concerned. You're gonna play a frigate here. I'm like almost... Oh. I mean, you can't even double here though, so what are you hoping to accomplish with that? In fact, if you single province, yeah, you didn't frigate me, so I'm just free to do whatever I want. Yeah, I don't know what your plan is. I think I'm just gonna be up here. Again, I just don't think you can contest whatever I'm doing here. I mean, you didn't forget me. I don't know how am I supposed, like, if they asked me for an undo here, I'm supposed to at least ask why, because it's like, skirt two other cards and a fool's gold. It's like such a weird undo. I mean, no, I mean, they can't win here anyway, right? Like, this is, yeah, okay. I mean, I would let them undo, just not because, just because this play cannot really win, and they might like look for something that can win. I don't know. Well, they didn't forget, so I'm super happy. Because, yeah. I still have the starting favor. Trash the copper. I mean, if you double, I just horse all of my cards. Oh no, can I not horse my cards? I can't horse the right, I can't horse all of my cards. If I hit wisps I can. If you just buy a single province, I'm gonna horse all of my cards in double province. So I don't think that works for you. So yeah, I don't know what your route is here. I guess you could do plus buy and double duchy. I still double province. It's yeah, because then I can horse both the pixies and play the Sank and play all of my fool's golds in the frigate, and I have 16. Yeah. And you don't know my hand. You don't know that both the pixies are in my hand, which is like really good for me. I lose. Yeah, I just need to remember that if I horse a pixie, I lose 3 points, which, or if I trash a pixie, I regain it. I don't have 18, so unless I get like Mountain's Gift, I cannot really do that. If I get, and again, and that comes out of play if I get Swamp, because that gives me 2 of the other action. I mean, I think it's double duchy. Oh. Okay. Well, I just need to hit province here now. Which is just comes to drawing Fool's Gold, which is guaranteed for me in these 3 cards, because there are 3 Fool's Golds down there, only 5 cards. Yeah, okay. So I'm just winning. Alright. Oh, wait. I am not. Okay, so I need province duchy. Province duchy pixie, which means I need my whole deck for this. So if I just like undo this, it's guaranteed, right? Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna undo discarding this, and I'm just gonna trash for it, and this is like a no info undo. So I can spend this for a card, can buy this Sank. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. Fuck. That is so silly of me. Or I can draw into that silver, right? Yeah, okay, I could draw into the silver. And I can buy a frigate for the points, or a thing. Okay, I made that unnecessarily complicated. But alright, it worked. I know if I don't get the boon, I don't know how I win that actually. Like if I don't get a good boon, but alright, we got it. Let's at least get the game free in. Alright, what do we got here? Another tower. Lots of towers today. Lots of towers. Alright. How are we trying to accomplish things in this kingdom? There is a village with Conclave, there's draw with Seer, there's draw with Enchantress, Underlink is kind of draw, but not really. There's loot with Search, but I'm not sure if that's gonna come into play. We have a very strong card in Conjurer here, against a lot of Conclave, against a lot of cards that get drawn by Seer. I'm tempted to open Conclave Student because I really want a Conjurer. I just like really want the Conjurer. Does Enchantress Student hit Conjurer well? I'm first player. Enchantress gives me a 6 card hand and no. Okay. Oh no, it gives me a 7 card hand. So that needs to have exactly 3 estates for me to not be able to hit Conjurer. Okay, so that... I mean, I just really want Conjurer, right? I think. It doesn't work out as well if Maroon... I also really want to trash for this year to be good. But I think Enchantress just like getting me to my trashing and negating my opponent's trashing is probably better than all of the other options. Yeah, okay. I don't think Apothecary comes into play here too, so yeah, alright. So I am going to get rid of all of my copper. Alright, my opponent opens Maroon. I'm gonna open Enchantress of this. Alright, beautiful. I could take a sneaky search. It's probably better than Bauble. Sure. And I get to actually take a favor and get a Conjurer. That is incredible. Alright, so if I don't see a student in this hand from my opponent, then they're gonna have a lot of trouble hitting Conjurer. Conjurer is a little awkward because you gotta play it with like Conclave. I mean, they can just sit in your hand until you play them. There's nothing that like makes you have to play them the turn you. There's nothing that makes you have to play them at the start of your turn. So yeah, you can just like wait for drawing a Conclave. And I could get enough uniques with like Underling, Seer, Bomb. It's actually kind of hard. Student. Yeah, it is a little hard to make a lot of Conjurers work, but also a lot of Conjurers put a lot of things that Seer pulls in your deck, and that's just beautiful. There's also an option for me to not rotate and grab a Seer, but that just seems worse. I should probably try to argument that. Okay, so if I If I trash an estate and grab a seer... Okay, so I guess the question is how good am I at hitting seer in this conjurer deck versus how good am I at hitting conjurer in the seer deck. I'm very good at hitting conjurer in the seer deck because seer can just like pull student, it can pull enchantress, yeah. And seer conjurer is also terminal, which conflicts with my enchantress. Which I am gonna keep on having this problem, but maybe I get to grab a conjurer on the turn that I play my enchantress. It would be pretty good. And also trashing an estate increases my economy for me to be able to hit conjurer better. Whereas if I go conjurer now, then I'm gonna have a lot of trouble hitting seer because I'm gonna put a workshop in my deck. That workshop might collide with the enchantress. I mean, my opponent got an enchantress though. It's like a big thing about this turn is that my opponent opened what maroon student, right? And I drew 3 coins, so they're either not trashing with a student. Yeah, they're either foregoing a trash with a student or they're not getting conjurer. Just like a very good argument for me to get conjurer because they're not getting one. And then if I draw that conjurer, I can get another conjurer. Or if I draw a student, I can rotate away from the conjurer so that they can't have it. Alright, there's like a lot of talking about this decision, but I think it's an important decision. Actually, I always draw student here because I put it on top. Yeah, okay. I like this. Oh, I have a search too. Jesus, this could have been a disaster. Yeah. I think now I just rotate the conjure away if they choose to not take it, and take it if they choose to take it. I think they're choosing not to take it though. Unless they're trashing an estate with this. But it looks like they drew 2 estates in the last hand, so even if they trash an estate with this, they need to trash a copper with a maroon. And in case they didn't draw their maroon, then they can hit 4. Because they only have 3 cards in hand and they have nothing that gives to economy. Alright, perfect. I am tryharding so much in this match. It is incredible how much I'm trying to overanalyze everything. I guess, yeah. I guess this is how you gotta play in the championship to be able to actually win one. Yeah. Win one, or even have a good run. But I'm 5th seed. I'm supposed to try to win it, right? Alright, anyway. Yeah, I think I blocked the conjure away from my opponent. Here's the thing, like, they're still not very good at hitting it, right? But I really need to hit seer, is the issue. Like, I really need to hit seer for my deck to function. And I have a conjurer, so I can do some shenanigans later to be able to get a bunch of conjurers. No, bubble is the only plus buy. I did not notice that. Cool. I mean, you don't need the plus buy for a long time in this kingdom because student is really hampers your economy. Is that an English word? I don't know. Well, I said it, so you probably understand what it means. All right. I don't know what the decision point is. I guess the decision point is actually, am I undoing the student play for my opponent? Because I know they probably don't have a maroon in here. Oh no, okay. Do I want to trash a copper? All right, yeah, that's fair. I mean, they have a student on top and they have a maroon on top, right? So it's the same situation, or they can't hit conjurer, so I can leave this up. Is that crazy? To just like leave this conjurer? Oh no, they have a search. But they have a maroon on top. So if they want to trash anything, I'm just not gonna rotate. I'm just gonna take another Conjurer. I am over-terminaling myself a lot. They have an Enchantress too. They're also over-terminaled. I think this is the hand where I rotate. I grabbed myself 2, you get to have 0. Yeah, that seems like a very good combination for me. Like, I get to have the good cards and you don't. I probably want to be playing enough underlings eventually to trigger Mountain Folk. Just because there like really isn't that much reason to not be doing that. Alright, they have a second search. I don't like that as much. They never played the Enchantress. I mean, here is where I rotate because you don't get fun cards. I get fun cards, and I'm supposed to get a village because I have way too many of these things. Oh, I have no coins in this hand whatsoever. I would like to trash here, but I would also like to keep this Conjurer. I want free cards next turn, actually. Really want free cards next turn. I'll rotate this too. Yeah, I really want the cards this turn so that I can draw a lot of cards so that I can hit the Seer. I assume I have enough economy in my deck to hit the Seer. Yeah, I trust 4 copper. The bottom card is a Conjurer. I might not draw my economy actually, because I destroyed all of it. Oh no, student. What have you done? Alright, I drew my economy. Lovely. Do I rotate here and grab another Conjurer? No. Right? Did you top deck a student? Trash is an estate. No. So you don't actually have a student in this hand, so I don't need to rotate. Alright, beautiful. And I'll grab another Conclave because I need to be able to draw stuff with Seer. Alright, and now Enchantress helps me draw my Conclave, hopefully. So I get to play these Conjurers again and again and again. Yeah. Alright. I think we are through the worst part of this. I mean, I get to play both Conjurers, so this is not bad at all. I don't get to draw my student and trash, which is a little sad. I think I want a Conclave, and I think I want an Underling here. I don't value searches as much. You might get one Conjurer, but I'm fine with you getting one. Like, you can have one, that's fine, I suppose. Alright, am I think I'm foregoing this Enchantress because I have so many Seers now. And I really want to keep on trashing. I would like to hit another Seer too. Am I supposed to rotate and take all of the Conjurers? I mean, I don't really have the terminal capacity to do that, but also my opponent keeps on Enchantressing me, so... Or I guess they're not gonna Enchantress me next turn. Two more Conjurers and a Seer. That's appealing. Right, I'm just gonna take all the good cards. Let's just take all of the good cards. That way my opponent can't have any of them. I have a lot of searches. Uh, Bomb is also an option here. More underlings. Probably more conclaves. Probably a bubble at some point. But also, like, a big thing about having a lot of conjures is this is a tower board, and I can just like spam gain cards that cost up to 4. So it should be smooth sailing here. My opponent just did not do a very good job trashing their cop. Oh, they're trashed with some with maroon, I suppose. I'm just not very interested in playing with maroon here, honestly. Playing with one enchantress is a little sketchy. My deck is kind of consistent, so I don't know. I could also play with sorcerer, which also lets me get a little bit of more actions out of my conclave. Oh no. That's sad. I mean, I've been asking for this draw. Of the way I've been playing this. I will leave the sorcerer over there because I think it's very good for my deck, and I think it's not very good for yours. I'll just grab 2 cards, and I'll just grab more underlings or a city gate at this point. I think it's more underlings. I know that my next hand has a seer. Yeah, I'm kind of just playing for tower points here too. And I have a bunch of underlings, so I get Mountain Folk. Soon-ish it'll be every turn. So that like gives me perfect consistency, I think. And I just don't need to take any risk because I think I'm this far ahead. I guess I need to be aware of my opponent having 3 searches in play. Oh, I can empty the search pile to blow up their tower points. Oh, that's so mean. That sounds so mean. I want to do it. Alright, that draws 3. Beautiful. That also draws 3. Alright, I don't think these cards are cards that cost the appropriate amount. So I'm just going to toss in some more cards that cost the appropriate amount in there. Like a search. Alright, I'm gonna put that in there. Like a conclave. And like a bubble. And I'm gonna draw all of those. I'm gonna... Oh, I have a search in play. Right. Okay, cool. I think I want one of the wizards. Yeah, right. Searches are in play. Yes. Alright, let's just put more of these in my deck. Favor buy or top decking buy? I think favor buy. That's what I like the most. And I'm just gonna grab these 2 cards, I think, for my conclaves to work a little better. Because I have a lot of them. Alright, and I can probably grab a 3rd bauble and just like start slowly greening, I suppose. Yeah. Playing this like 1 enchantress per turn is like a little weird. That's fine. Alright. Oh, I can Band of Misfits as Conclave. That is amazing. That is so fun. Yeah, my opponent doesn't even have plus buy here. They really can't do anything, I don't think. But like maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just gonna score 10 of these underlings is the problem for them, right? Like, and then I'm gonna score off the conclaves and I'm gonna score off searches too. Because searches blow up when you empty a pile, and so their searches will blow up, so they don't actually ever score any points. This is slightly annoying. What can I throw into this enchantress that's not valuable? Student is my plus action. Yeah, maybe that's not as valuable though. Student is also more trashing, and I do have 2 copper. Maybe it's underling. Yeah, it's probably just underling. I'll grab another bauble or grab more underlings and play them this turn. Enchantress, Mountain Folk, yes, alright. It's probably just an underling. I think attacking with Sorcerer is a little more valuable. Dumptex a copper. Alright, let's do the attack at the start. Alright, let's toss in an underling. Let's draw all of that. Oh, well, I guess not all of that. Well, I have the actions to do everything. Oh my. Alright, Conclave Student works pretty well too. What's in the trash? Nothing of value. So I can just gain free cards here. What are the free cards that I want? There's probably an Enchantress in there. So I just kind of want to hit that. And probably 2 underlings. Could be searches. You don't have a way to mid-turn gain a card too. It could be searches. I have how many actions? I can't ban this conclave into an action. It's unfortunate. Oh no, I can. I have a student. Alright, so if I gain free searches, I actually have enough terminal space to play all of them. That's unbelievable. Alright, let's just do that then. Let's draw all of them. Let's play Band as Conclave. Let's play this. Don't rotate. Alright, and I think I'm supposed to buy a province. Oh, I could top deck a Lich. That's so fun. I should probably top deck a Seer. I could top deck a Lich. I could top deck a Lich. Do I want to do it? Technically, I could lower all this. I'm gonna top deck a seer. I have 5 searches in play. You only have 1 buy. Alright, beautiful. I am up 3-0. Oh, alright, that feels pretty good. Alright, let's play the very last one game of the session. Probably for me. When did we start? We started a little over 1.5 hours ago. Yeah, maybe 1, maybe 2. Alright, that felt good though. Alright. Prize goat, let's go. This is a very prize goat kick now. Okay, so what do we have here? We have draw in form of Archive, Torturer, Necromancer could draw cards, Courtyard, Sybil, and Blacksmith. We have plus actions only in the form of Throne Room, so Torturer, although very powerful, might not be particularly useful here. I don't think Elder. What works with Elder here? Isn't there a way to like get the view of cards that work with Elder, or is that not a thing anymore? That was a thing during Allies mix. Is it like Kingdom View? Not sure. There was a way. Yeah, I don't really know how that would you do that. All right. Anyway, I don't think anything except for Towncrier and Blacksmith works with Elder here, because you have a choice, not your opponent, for Torture. Yeah, there's good payload in Conspirator. There's payload in Elder. Just I consider Elder and payload card. And there's payload in Loot with Cursed. There is a very like striking open with Towncrier, Herb Gatherer. It is a 13 card shuffle with no trashing. You could just play for Archive like a normal person too. Trashing is very difficult. Oh, there's Orchard. Does Orchard say pile? Oh no, okay. So actually getting free of copies of like Towncrier and Herb Gatherer seems pretty... Getting free of copies out of the rotating split pile seems pretty important. As they're all very playable. And they all have a lot of points on them. The question is, do I want to do it after getting a bunch of archives or before? I mean, Cursed plays really well with Archive because Archive likes slightly junky decks. I really like Archive too. You could get free of like every card here. I mean, I just don't like the idea of putting a curse in my deck, but if I roll a prize goat, it's excellent, right? Alright, what am I unhappy to roll? Like, there's... If I roll a hammer, that's like beautiful too. If I roll doubloons, I'm not unhappy with doubloons. Okay, I just like Towncrier itself is a silver. Yeah, I'm gonna take Herb Gatherer and Towncrier. I think that makes sense. There's a huge high roll of Price Goat. There's Sword, which is slightly annoying. What else is there? I guess not that much. Sextant's great. Okay, Sextant is great unless I play it with Herb Gatherer, then it's kind of terrible. It just shuffles me into... not that bad. Okay, I that's fine. Plays an archive sometimes, and then it like goes out of play, so that's pretty good. Again, kind of terrible with Herb Gather, but like yeah. My opponent's playing with a bunch of Necromancers, but I could just pick up Necromancers later. And I can just play the Orb as plus 3 or 8. I mean, I could also use my Orb as like a pick my action and play it sort of thing. It's kind of nice. Yeah, you're just believing in the trashing, and that's why you picked up the Necromancers. Okay, I can get behind that. I just believe in the archive trashing. Or pseudo trashing, I suppose. You may rotate. I may rotate. I will do it because I don't mind picking up an acolyte at some point. And I don't think your deck is very well suited for an acolyte with a bunch of terminals in it. Alright, well. Let's do that. Let's play. I mean, I can keep on playing this orb. The orb is in the next hand. I hit 5 anyway if I play this Towncrier. Okay, so let's think about it. If I play the Towncrier... Alright, what's the difference? If I don't play a Towncrier now, what am I... Like, what is in this next hand? Do I want to discard that? Yeah, it seems like a bunch of junk, right? There's like Orb, 2 copper. So a hand that hits 5. Curse Estate, I think. This is a hand that hits 5. I like hands that hit 5. Because all I want to be doing right now is buying archives. Maybe it's not too bad then. But then I'm putting a state into that hand, which is less good. Could also be rolling for Prize Goat, but I think I want some degree of control here. But the thing is, yeah, if I play this Herb Gatherer, I'm putting yeah, my next hand always hits 5 anyway. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, no. I could do Acolyte Towncrier too. I feel like I'm supposed to do an archive though. So I'm just gonna not rotate and grab another archive. It's so tempting to go Acolyte Towncrier, but I think I need some degree of control. Alright, I think I pulled a Towncrier just to get +1 card, +1 action, and like here, if I draw a copper, I would totally I'd totally go for archive Towncrier. So yeah, it's pretty good. Alright. I also have orchard points. Alright, for archive. Cool. Yeah, you trust in the state. I would think you're supposed to take Towncrier here. It just seems pretty strong. I know, but like you really like trashing. I mean, you've trashed 2. Like, Necromancer is not good at trashing. Let's be honest. Silver. Alright, so you're playing some sort of money, but then you're trashing and playing with Necromancer. I hate that. Oh, I have 8, right? Yeah, this is an 8 coin hand. So I could just rotate and I could also just grab an acolyte and two town credits, but that's too many curses. I can't really handle that. I could archive. Oh, that's interesting. Look for your discard pile. Archive with orb. I got to have or not. Okay, so the question is, if I play this archive with an orb right now, do I get to put these cards into like, are they still? Do they still stay in the lookout zone, or am I playing them? Like, do they stay in the lookout zone and archive? I just play it and it does nothing. All right, I'm just gonna test it for science. Oh, it does work. All right, I don't actually know that I wanted to do that, but sure. Okay, so they don't stay in the lookout zone. I was guessing that they would actually, which is interesting. Cool, it works. I'm not even sure that I wanted that, but again. I think I'm not gonna rotate because I'm not excited about taking curses. I'm very excited about taking archives though. This is 7. I mean, I just want a lot of archives here, I think, so that I can just like line up my cards. I trash the necromancer. Okay. I might take a throne room here with a blacksmith. Take the 2 coppers. Yeah, I would like to throw in some archives. And my deck is, well, it's a state of the art. it, it really isn't actually. It's just like it's very meh. I like, oh my. that's a that's a draw for sure. I would be very happy to take a Miller. Right, let's do that. Oof. I could take puzzle box instead of orb, or I could take orb and play an archive here. I like playing archives. And then I get to play puzzle box anyway, or maybe I leave it set aside because I can't really buy anything useful. Okay, that seems more suitable. Yeah, I'm just like, there's a lot of use for setting aside stuff on the archive mods, so just playing a lot of archives. Yeah. I mean, this is like a workable deck, I think. I should probably grab an acolyte at some point now that they have like a throne room and stuff. Right, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh wow. I get to get through this first round without any issues. That is incredible. I think we're done. Sometimes you get lucky. That's the minion. Yeah. Sure. Thanks. You get lucky. The minion is okay. I should probably wrap this up. And yeah. I am very happy with how this match went. Okay. It's incredible. Um. All right. Yeah. I'll see you guys around later. And bye.